There is some cruise news for Carnival Cruises that I just wanted to touch upon to share with people. They've updated the casino rules for Carnival Cruises effective December 17th, 2021. Okay. So for sailings through January 31st, 2022, the following protocols are to be implemented. And it says as they respond to Omicron. So it's specifically in response to that. There is no smoking in the casino at all times. And as someone with a severe allergy, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, that's nice.
That having been said, in the cruising community, people are losing their minds.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that this is very bad news for some people.
Yes.
That is frustrating for them. They feel like it's a freedom they had before that they're losing. Others argue it's a privilege. I'm not going to weigh into that debate. And so, but it is evoking some incredibly strong feelings.
People talk about canceling their cruises because of this.
And also people attacking other people with different opinions.
Yeah.
Now, in our video, which was a podcast clip that we put up where we had announced the last time they changed the smoking rules, the comment section got pretty vicious. Feel free to go take a look if you are, stern of heart. If you're made of sterner stuff, feel free to come to our defense if you want. Feel free to, rag on us, whatever. We do like those comments and interactions. Keep it civil if you can. Try to adhere to the community standards of YouTube if you decide to go and do that. But this is a subject that evokes incredibly strong emotions.
Yeah,
and that's
really
interesting. I mean, I don't think
it's super polarizing.
Yeah, we're not threatening anyone's livelihood here. I don't think people are losing their jobs over this, but the passionate of folks feels like these people feel they're being threatened in a fundamental way.
Now, they're not saying that you can't smoke on these cruises. They're just saying specifically for the indoor casino area, that is where you cannot smoke just until the end of January.
So for a month and a half.
Things can be subject to change. This is a very, very fluid situation.
And this is as of December 17th. But I was thinking about it, though. And I was thinking, because I understand if you threaten someone's life, if you threaten someone's livelihood, their job, their ability to earn money, these are visceral strong things that people have been reacting to by COVID, for example. Their health has been put at risk, their financial security, their jobs. And so people getting really upset about that, I can kind of understand. Absolutely. This I struggle with when I was thinking about it, and I'm editorializing here. You're probably going to come at me somewhere, and fair enough, just try to keep it civil if you disagree. But I wonder if it's because it is a literal addiction.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe that's why they're having these incredibly intense, strong feelings. And for that's sort of the smoker side of things. And then on my side of things, where I have a health condition where that puts my health at risk, that is one of those core fundamental things where my future life expectancy, my health, my enjoyment of things,
exactly, your ability to breathe in that moment
is at risk. And so I think that's part of why there's incredible, strong, fiery feelings on both sides of this thing. And so we have been experiencing some of that in our Facebook group that we run. We run it's the Carnival VIFP group. Currently with, I think, 43,000 plus members. And so feel free to go and join that group if you're interested in more discussion and information and sharing, commiseration, excitement, all that sort of stuff on Facebook. And join us in the conversation there. But this is a reminder to anyone who has strong feelings about this, whether you're in our little Facebook group, or you're just talking to your friends, or you're on, heaven forbid, Twitter, or commenting on Instagram or YouTube videos, just to maybe try to remember the strong feelings that this is evoking in people, that people are maybe not at their best when they're talking about this. I'm coming from a place of fear, and other people are coming from a place of maybe feeling oppressed. And that's a heavy word to use for something like this, and it probably sounds like an exaggeration.
But that's probably
what
it
to
feels
them,
like. Yeah, exactly.
It might feel that way.
Exactly.
And I know I'm just I am calling for people to be rational, so that won't make me popular or interesting. But just as much as possible. And in terms of our Facebook group in particular, we do have rules much that align with the platform, that align with Facebook. So if you bully, harass, name call, threaten, and sadly over the last few days we've seen this since this announcement, then people people could get muted, have comments removed, they could get banned from our group, but also Facebook could go in and shut accounts down. Absolutely. Because it's supposed to be a safe platform and people shouldn't feel threatened, bullied, be called things that are not their name, things like that. And so whether you're on Facebook or Twitter or at the grocery store or wherever you might encounter this, I don't know how it come up in the grocery store. Maybe if you're buying a gift card or something for Carnival, which apparently is a thing in some stores in the States. Yeah. But however you encounter this topic, I guess I'm just asking for some sympathy, some take that breath, think about it from their point of view, and also realize that you're never going to change someone's mind by calling them a name. It's
kind
never,
of like
that's never
what
happen.
Mr. Rogers would do.
Maybe that's look for the helpers?
Well, no, but I mean, Mr. Rogers wouldn't say and do these sort of things, and maybe just try to, evoke your best Mr. Rogers, and just don't be a dink.
To paraphrase Will Wheaton.
I don't think he would say that, but, Will Wheaton certainly would say that. And the name calling thing, or calling someone that's not their name, that's kind of become a bit of a low-key hobby of mine now, as I see someone will flag a comment of, someone being called a name that's not theirs. You can probably guess the two names that I'm talking about.
One of them starts with a K.
And the other one starts with the F. And so I'll sit there and I'm just Felicia.
Well, that's a little dated now, isn't it?
No, it's still used quite a lot, and so
I haven't seen it that much myself.
And if
you get to it before I do.
We posts that get heated, and it's like, "Bye, Felicia." Oh my God, this Karen, la la la. And so I'm just sitting there like, I don't.
And then there's the standard snowflake, jerk, a-hole, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm suddenly glad that this podcast is marked as explicit on iTunes.
Yeah, and so
we're getting close. We try to keep it PG-13 if necessary.
But I mean, we'll remove those comments, and maybe that seems like we're kind of being a bit of a wet blanket, but it's really,
clear cut. It's the simplest way of identifying bullying.
If their name is Jill and you call them Karen, you've called them by
that is literal name calling.
So we're going to remove the comment. I'm sorry.
Out of the dictionary.
And so we're not going to. We try to not be a safe space for people calling other people Karens and Felicias.
We want to be a safe space, and that means no bullying, no harassment, no name calling.
Exactly.
You can disagree with people's opinions as much as possible. Don't attack the person is generally the way to go. Agree without being disagreeable, etc.
Absolutely.
And so that's some advice both for our group, but generally speaking, in the conversation and in the community.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's just get to a little bit more here. We've got the guests must wear a face mask and sip and cover when drinking their beverage. I've never heard of this before, but this is interesting. So, if you're actively sipping, your mask can be down, but the second you're done drinking, it's got to go back up, even if you have a drink in front of you and it is not finished. So
yeah, you have to pull down the mask real quick, drink it, and then put it back up.
So that is interesting. You can. I just haven't seen anywhere require it. So this is the first place I've personally encountered that being a requirement. Seating at gaming tables and slots are reserved for players only. The casino bar is open, but is a non-smoking area, which kind of repeats the other thing. Smoking is not allowed anywhere on board during refueling. That has always been the case. We don't want to blow up the ships.
Thank you.
And so that is just sort of the current state of play there. So if you're watching this on YouTube, do feel free to hopefully, kindly, politely let us know what you think in the comments without any name calling anything that breaks the rules.